In celebration of 100 years of UIL Texas high school football, the UIL and Dave Campbell's Texas Football have teamed up to honor the best, the brightest, and the most unforgettable icons and legends in the state's illustrious history. With the help of some of the state's foremost experts and historians, the UIL and DCTF will honor 100 of the greatest players to ever suit up in Texas, 100 of the finest teams to grace the gridiron, and 100 of the most fabled rivalries that give the game its one-of-a-kind flair. Each week throughout the 2020 season, Dave Campbell's Texas Football will announce 10 honorees on each list, an indelible honor to be known as one of the greatest in Texas high school football history. Fans will then have the opportunity to weigh in, voting for the player, team, and rivalry they think is the best of the best to be named to the UIL 100 Fans' Choice Top 10. It all leads up to a celebration as big as Texas, celebrating the UIL's 100 players, teams, and rivalries, and the Fans' Choice Top 10 in each category at the UIL Texas High School Football State Championship Games at AT&T Stadium in Arlington this December. And so now, let's talk about the Week 6 entries into the UIL 100 Years, 100 Players list. And it is some names you probably recognize. Brownwood wide receiver Lawrence Elkins, Lufkin quarterback Reggie McNeil, John Tyler defensive lineman David Warren, Palestine running back Adrian Peterson, Paris offensive lineman Jerry Sizemore, Fairfield defensive lineman Tony Brackens, Pampa linebacker Zach Thomas, Rockwall wide receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba, Houston Worthing linebacker Mike Singletary, and Richland Springs spreadback Tyler Etheridge. Those are the new entries into the UIL 100 Years, 100 Players list. You can vote for which player you think deserves a spot in the Fans' Choice Top 10 at texasfootball.com/UIL100. To the teams list we go. Oh, we'll do rivalries.
Sorry.
100 Years, 100 Rivalries, the new entries into the rivalries list. El Campo and Bay City. Harlingen and San Benito, the Battle of the Arroyo. Ballinger and Brady. Beaumont Charlton Pollard versus Beaumont Hebert. Carthage versus Henderson. Wichita Falls versus Wichita Falls Ryder. Garden City versus Sterling City. Carrizo Springs versus Crystal City. Grosbeck versus Teague. And Ballinger versus Coleman. Those are the new entries into the UIL 100 Years, 100 Rivalries list. To vote for you, which rivalry you believe deserves a spot in the Fans' Choice Top 10. Check out texasfootball.com/UIL100 where you can vote. And finally, 100 Years, 100 Teams. The new entries into the UIL 100 Years, 100 Teams list. 1976, San Antonio Churchill. 1995, Lamarck. 2008, Lake Travis. 1928, Abilene. 1945, Waco. 1971, San Antonio Lee. Dallas Oak Cliff from 1924. Brownwoods, 1965 team. 2012, Katy. And the 1987 Cuero Gobblers. Vote for which team you believe deserves a spot on the Fans' Choice Top 10 at texasfootball.com/UIL100. That's texasfootball.com/UIL100.